Time to go to Costco. Oh, I'm gonna go a different way. Different way. Let me turn on the chat visibility. Can I make it this way? Got the arrow of misdirection up here. Area. There is the building that housed the original Walt Disney Laugh-O-Gram Studios. And there have been efforts for many, many years, actually the building, but actually it's been in the news recently that they're going to finally push through and restore it. He's kind of a local film history buff who's also got, I think it's been, they've been talking about that thing for over 20 years as far as I can remember, probably longer. To charge my YOLO box when I was just running off of the USB power supply, almost like not even having it. These cameras that I'm using are going to have to that way I can just change out batteries when one goes kaputski. Sony still makes those batteries. As a matter of fact, they've just the real small batteries actually, but they last a lot longer. A lot more aren't competing with GoPros. And from what I understand, the stability in the GoPro has going for it is the stability is probably the best. But that's an electronic stability. It's not a new action camera has a little bit of a mechanical stability to it. Sort of the way the iPhone actually has a mechanical and electronic stability, a combination. And the way that works is like the individual chips can float around. Yeah, there. You're going into the back of a car anyway. These people, I tell you, it doesn't take much swerving for them to go crazy. Man, it looks like Stretchy's completely moved out of this building. Get past somebody. I don't sit there in their blind spot and then go, oh, he's swerving into me. I'm going to lay on my horn. Anyway, before I was interrupted, I was talking about mechanical stability. The chips inside move around and kind of act as like a little mini gimbal. Although, I don't know if gimbal is the right phrase to use because, you know, the 3-axis gimbals, yeah, they actually are gimbals. A gimbal is like a hinged mount that can rotate and rotate in multiple directions. The ones like the mechanical gimbals that I use are what you might call electric gimbals. They have electric motors hooked to the mounts, and they're tied to essentially a gyroscope, a computer with a gyroscope built in that tells the gimbal which way is down, center of gravity, I guess. I don't know. Ooh, that car is sitting on no tire. All right, which one do I need to turn on? I think it's the next one, not this one. Although if I turn on this one, I'll turn on this one. The stop sign. That is crazy. I love this old building here. I guess maybe a lot of things in this park that are dedicated. KCPD headquarters annex. That's new. Don't ever remember that building. It looks pretty new too. I've decided I'm going to go to the Costco up north. How is my 16 frames per second? I figure if I'm going to be throttled down, it'll be at this time of day, although it doesn't seem to matter what time of day, or night even. I don't know how good or poor it was. Actually, I think with the app that I had been using on my phone, I noticed that you could almost time it. It will glitch like every minute or 30 seconds or so. And I think what it does is it kind of buffers, the app kind of buffers it and goes, okay, put a glitch here, instead of like glitching every time it drops. But this, you know, it just glitches when it drops. Maybe I can change that. Maybe there's some settings I haven't really. I also probably could set it to 720p and it might do a little better, but I haven't got there yet. Let's see what it does on Sunday. I need to put the background on there. I don't know if it has internal storage for, because I could put a JPEG in there with my background on it instead of having a black background. Downtown. Well, here is Grand, otherwise known as the Jefferson Highway, Pine to Palms. And there is a huge mongoose pothole right there. Almost need a tracked vehicle to get through it. The road up by our house is horrible again. And my theory is that the city got screwed by a contractor and an inspector who didn't do, meaning the contractor was kind of like either not doing his or her job, or was wink wink, hey, look the other way. And what they really need to do is they need to tear the whole road out and start over, which, or at least grade it all the way down to the original roadbed and then put the right surface on it. Most probably they have to start over and they just don't have the money to do that. Speaking of not having the money to do things properly, what's going on down in Texas is a real shame. And I've already kind of made a statement about how I feel about winter overhype. Like this quote unquote, and I can do air quotes now because you can see it, bad winter is what we used to call in the old days a winter. Now, I hate to sound like I'm this really old fart, back in my day, but no. I mean, the old days are like not 10, 15, 20 years ago. I can remember. Because I don't work out in the weather so much now, but I used to work out in the weather all the time. And I really remember standing out on really cold days and having at least 2 or 3 weeks of this kind of weather almost every year. It was just expected. It's what we know, what we refer to as winter. And so they get winter down in Texas, which happens, and it happens more frequently than they're letting on. And all of a sudden, we can't provide basic services to people. We can't provide power. We're running out of food. We're running out of fuel. And we're just showing again to our adversaries all over the world that America really can't deal with its problems, which is not true. But what is causing this? Well, again, it's the same freaking people. The people who decide that government should be run like a corporation, and we're going to let corporations do whatever the hell they want to do, not what they're supposed to do. Because if you take the oversight away from corporations, which of course corporations go in and they pay a lot of money to get the lobby corrupt politicians, and yeah. I mean, to me, fiscal responsibility does not mean taking the treasury, the tax money that has been raised, and giving it to wealthy friends and then not having any services for people. If people have put money into the services, then people should get their money back. That is another way of thinking about taxation in a way that actually works. Not, oh, I'm paying too much and I'm not getting anything out. It's how about whatever I'm paying, I should be able to see a return on my investment. Because, you know, taxation is another form of investment. I mean, our lives depend on infrastructure. And shouldn't we expect to have to chip in a little to make sure that infrastructure is there? And when it isn't there and we kind of realize, oh, you know what? I'm being taxed for this and it's not there. Shouldn't we have a right to demand accountability? But no, not according to some fiscally responsible people, which is nonsense. There's no fiscal responsibility or accountability in this stuff. And so, you know, America's adversaries are taking note. Oh, they're weak here. If we want to sabotage something, which will probably be an inside job by, you know, again, Quislings who believe in the Q nonsense, the fifth columnists. Hey, let's start a civil war. It'll be fun. Fight for our rights. I don't want to pay my taxes, therefore I want to get my gun. You know, infrastructure has been built up over the years by people who felt like they needed to leave behind something for their children, a legacy. Now, granted, government is not the most efficient way of doing it, but in many cases it's the only way of doing it. Because, as we have seen, large companies don't feel the responsibility to pay back often without being forced to. Now, you know, a very liberal tax policy, I guess it's a weird way of saying that. By liberal, I mean a tax policy which means that you don't have to pay so much. But a very liberal tax policy might work if people might step up to the plate willingly instead of, you know, having laws made. And again, very first lesson that you get taught in political science class is a tax never goes away. Once a tax is raised, it will never go away. So even when a politician will say, we are cutting taxes, no, you're just redistributing taxes. You're not cutting anything. And quite often the way redistribution works is it's getting cut for people who don't need to have it cut and being loaded onto the people who can least afford it. That too never goes away. But you know, there were people in this country who knew that they had accumulated more wealth than one human being can ever hope to do anything with, and felt it was a blessing and that they should pay it back. And we're willing to do that, but it doesn't seem like that's the case anymore. It seems like people who are rich just want more and don't ever want to give anything back. You know, a great example is the they call themselves MAGA, but we've kind of figured out that what they've really been doing is MCGA, make China great again, or how about make Russia great again administration. MRGA. Yeah, that's what we'll call them. MRGA. Make Ruski great. And again, I sound like a xenophobe and everything. I have nothing against Russia and Russians. I've met a few and enjoyed their company, but what I dislike, when I say Russia, I guess I mean Russia under the current regime that they're under. The Kremlin, the former communist officials who've taken over and stolen everything from the people. Ruh-roh. Popo has got somebody pulled over up here. Mine. Oh, and look at the tinted windows. You can't even see what's inside the car. That would make me really, really nervous. I don't think I could do that. You have to be really brave to do that. Pull somebody over, get out of your car, and walk up to MRGA. Make Ruska great again. I guess our action plan for an extended power outage is to essentially move into our motorhome. That's part of it. It'd either be that or hook up the generator and power one room of the house, or if we don't really need electricity, you know, crack a window, open a window just slightly and use a buddy heater, which really works really well. And, you know, be able to keep ourselves warm and sleep comfortably and everything. There's a lot of dangers to that. All right, I hope this guy is looking. Either you got to use you can't zip the thing up because the two teeth are out of mesh, or unmeshed. I don't know how you say it. Look, they expect everybody to just move over for them, and they come on out. Oh, rut-row, something in the road up here. It's like a box. Come on. It's like that box was trying to get me. So you know, if you hit that thing, it would stick under your car and cause problems. So far, every time I look, it's been pretty consistent. Now it's dropped again. I can see by the drop it's better than average, and it gives you kind of a complete and easy to read readout on the health of your stream. That is pretty cool. I'm using it's tethered to my cell phone, and as I've said, it doesn't take very long for you to use up all the allocated data in your unlimited plan, quote unquote unlimited. So then they get this dire message: you will be throttled during peak usage times. They don't say the term throttled. You may notice service slowdown and interruption during peak usage times. That's their way of saying, well, it's really not unlimited. We just call it that. Somebody's got a rich fuel mixture. Means that maybe they have a fuel leak too. Smells like unburnt gas. think it's that Assy B up there, Chevy. It feels good to be driving on clean surfaces and not having to worry about whether you're going to hit a slick spot. It says exterior 34 degrees. See me looking? Waiting for a car to pass and then merging, getting up to speed. Not just, I'm the only one going. Let's see here. I believe this is my exit. I did kind of a baddie bad here. You're not really supposed to get on one ramp and off the other. That causes traffic problems. Ooh, road massage. Ooh. I thought I was done using these cameras in this way, but apparently not. I think I can actually change the field of view on these cameras too. I'm not sure. I know you can on GoPros. I think I have to get one of these cameras and try and tether it to my phone. I used to have this thing, this app called Play Memories. And I have to say, Play Memories I never thought worked that well. Because it, that's interesting. Looks like the same car that was, had issues with earlier today. But, ooh, I should get some gas. But I was going to say, I never thought Play Memories worked that well. It sometimes, more times than I cared to think about, would not link up to your device, and it was about impossible to get it to hook up sometimes, and the rest of the time it was just extremely slow. You spend more time trying to hook up your device. I have one of those cameras that uses your cell phone as a back, and I like it because, you know, you use Sony lenses and kind of turn your phone into like a really decent camera, you know, a good zoom lens. But sometimes, you know, when you dick around trying to get the Play Memories to hook up, you're gonna miss whatever you're trying to shoot. So they got rid of Play Memories, and I don't know what they have now. It seems like they made it worse. Sony is not always that good at a lot of things. They build good stuff, but there's a big old RV over there. They're not always the best when it comes to other things. And sometimes it's just kind of funky the way they... Alrighty then. Pretty reasonably close in. I will be back in 2 shakes. What do I need? I'm going to take the thingy bobber. And I'm going to leave my other thingy bobber here. Turn this on. And of course, Mama Ash. Alrighty. That mask smells like coffee. Alright, BRB. back. Am I still streaming? Take this off. Take this off. Got massages on my foam. Put this on like a semi-professional. I know. Put this on here. Put it back in its home. And we are away we go. You like my expensive car security system? Black box. Ooh, I need to clean off my backup camera. Uh-oh, all the hook on the road is on it. Sorry. I'm just trying not to back into anything. Gladstone, Missouri, according to Weather Channel, is 33 degrees Fahrenheit. That's right. I was going to go get some gas here too. Take advantage of the cheapo gas. Uh-oh. Somebody wants to be out of the parking lot in a hurry. Or into the parking lot. That was nice of them. Oh. Come on out. You're the next contestant. I have some left over. I choke. Hello. Getting fish for Fridays here at Costco. It's my official errand that I have to run. Now I'm getting gas. Cheap gas at Costco. Oops, everybody else is getting cheap gas at Costco too. Which line looks like it'll move faster? Not the shortest line. Oh, this one right here. Maybe. It's the shortest line. I don't know if it'll move faster. My mom always said that she would pick the wrong line every time. Ooh, you're really not supposed to do that. You know, get in the car while you're pumping gas. It's not even that cold anymore. It's 34 degrees. Downright balmy. This car is a lefty, meaning the gas pump filler is on the left side. Yep, everybody's getting gas. My wife's car is a righty. I wonder what the percentage of lefties to righties is. It looks, I don't know, about even. But I'm used to lefties, and it really confuses me when I get my wife's car, and I always pull in on the wrong side. So if you have a car, is it a lefty or a righty? All right, give this guy room to do whatever he's going to do. Don't be rude. And get over the speed hump. And is this lady gonna move? Or there's nobody behind me, so I can wait a second. Oop, she's got a right hand taillight burned out. Alrighty, this makes it easier for somebody to pull in behind me. Here we are. Get some gas. Let me get my Costco card out. And it's a good idea to wear a mask in case somebody farts in your general direction. You might catch beerfluenza. It's warm, but the wind is blowing. Of course, it's Missouri. Tap here. Your car is made in Japan and Europe. The funny thing about American cars is you buy an American-made car, and it was probably mostly made in Japan, China, Brazil, Canada. You buy Genesee. And even the parts were made here, for the most part. So this car is more American than most American cars. Uh-oh. Hello?
Where are you at?
Costco, I got our fish. I'm getting...
I don't see the kids in the camera.
Ruh-roh. Well, hopefully they didn't go run off to visit somebody. Be quite mad.
Alright.
Alright.
See you home then. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Oh, what time is it? It's 17:44. Indonesia, yeah. Got a lot of interesting cars in Indonesia, and I'm sure there's a lot of Japanese cars. Can you drive those mini K cars, like what the Filipinos refer to as multi-cabs? I forgot myself. I need to pull out of here so that people can pull in behind, because I can do this right here. That is the missus. Let's see, gallons. What am I doing here? Being distracted. Gallons. In America, we're not allowed to drive K cars on the highway. I think you can license them, but you can't drive them on the interstates because they don't go above 45 miles an hour, so they're not safe to drive on the interstates. Most interstates, the minimum speed limit is 40, 45, I think. But, you know, for a lot of errands and stuff, oops, a K car is really all you need. Little 3-cylinder mini van or mini truck. We have them here, but they're used for lawn and gardening. And I think we get them the way most people get them. They're Japanese surplus. There's companies here that sell them, change them over to left-hand drive. It's just like in the Philippines. Like with a battery, you mean is it an electric car? Go 12, 6, 8. We have 3 viewers. Well, that's neat. You know, I can't. That's the one thing this won't show me is how many viewers I have. Tells me everything else. The speed and quality of my live stream, and it displays the comments, but it doesn't show me how many viewers I have, which I guess is just as well. Shouldn't allow those numbers to influence me. And you know, I'm mostly, this is like daily life errands. Like I say, I'm testing out the YOLO box, trying to figure out how to get it to work for Sunday. And I always roll with a dash camera anyway, so I might as well live stream it, even though the phone company, my internet provider, doesn't like it when I do that because I use data, and they want me to not use any data. That's probably why I'm getting so many drops on my feeds, because I'm tethered to my phone. I went to Smack earlier to have some fish so that I would not be tempted to buy a bunch of food when I got to Costco. The worst thing about Costco is you go in with a small list and, oh, it won't cost very much, and $300 later, you own Costco. Not really. I don't own Costco, but I could be an investor. Especially with 3 hungry kids, 4 hungry critters. And us fatsos. I mean, so far the quality of the stream has been consistent. It hasn't been the best, but it certainly hasn't been in the dead zone either. I'm about to come into like a countrified area. There's a cell tower right there. And I see another cell tower way over there. Not that that makes much of a difference. Yeah, there's 2 major like warehouse stores. They're kind of like club stores. One is called Sam's. It used to be called Wholesale Club, and Costco. And you have to buy a membership to get in, and then it's like a big warehouse store. Everything is like stuck in boxes, no frills shopping, and you buy everything in bulk. So they sell a lot of bulk items. So a big complaint with Costco is, well, I got a good deal, except that, you know, I have to spend a lot of money to get all this, and I got a lot, we can never finish it. So I came in to get stocked up on fish for a couple of weeks at least for Fridays, so that we're not like so tempted to go, oh wow, let's go out. It's more expensive than shopping at Costco. I just spent restaurant in one sitting, so hear me because I can see I'm at 2 frames per second. That's what I thought. I went out in the country. But there's no leaves on the trees because it's winter, and these are not, what do you call the, these are not evergreen trees like pine trees. So about September through November, all the leaves turn colors and they fall off. It's really pretty. But then in the winter, it's kind of gray and yucky. A lot of gray, overcast clouds, although we have some blue sky right now. And the temperature is now freezing, the freezing point of water, according to my car thermometer. So all the snow that's been melting today the water will freeze up, form slick spots, and then people will fall and crack their rear ends, or the cars will hit it and not be able to stop and run into things. It's really pretty hazardous, actually. There's a little bit of green. These dark trees here are evergreens. Of course, in this light, they're not very green. They're just dark. But you know, about mid to late April until about May, this is going to be one of the most beautiful scenes you've ever seen. When everything starts blooming and the flowers come out, it's gorgeous. It makes living through winter worth it. Spring is my favorite season. Ugh. Yep, there's still snow on the ground. It melted a little today, not much, because it wasn't just one day, few hours of above freezing temperatures. So yeah, if you've ever seen a walk-in freezer, you go walk into the walk-in freezer and stand there for a little while, and you know what it's like here. Like the whole world is one big walk-in freezer. If you have a case of soda or whatever and you don't necessarily want to put it in your fridge, you can stick it outside for an hour or so and it'll come back cold. Of course, if you forget about that case of soda, you might go out the next morning and go, oh, I left the soda out, and it'll be all frozen and the cans might have even burst. And there goes your case of soda. And we've just been through some unbelievably freezing temperatures, but everybody's been wimpy about it and crying, oh, I can't handle it. And I'm like, you know what? This is winter. This is what we call winter. Just a couple of weeks of single-digit temperatures, which is what? Negative 10. It's been around negative 10 Celsius here. We've had a few days where it was below zero, like what day was it? Well, maybe it was Monday. It was negative 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Unfortunately, we use the English system here. I like the metric system better, but it's hard to convert your mind over to it, so we use the English system, which is a very nonsensical system. Freezing or 0 Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and boiling point of water, 100 degrees Celsius, is what, 212? I don't even know. 212 degrees Fahrenheit. That makes no sense at all. It's very random. We'll see if the neighborhood streets are clear by now. They should be. 27 frames per second. Now down to 16, 15, 16. Drop 0%. All right, well, I'm going to end this pretty soon here. I'm about to my destination. As I say, if you like what you see, if you're interested or interested in any of my other stuff, I have 3 or 4 channels. I can't remember how many. But, you know, hit the like and the subscribe button and click on the bell so you can be notified whenever I go live. Or YouTube tells us to say that. YouTube says that only about 5%, 5% of the people subscribe that are interested in our content. And, you know, that would help us out a lot. I do put in more quality content. I don't just do daily life boorish streaming. I do other boorish things. I have one of my channels, what's it called? The Boorish Redundant Adventures of Steve-O, which is more of this stuff. Except I edit it together in little segments. And then I have one called Travel America's Backroads. It's where you'll find us. I've been adding to that one most recently. That one is basically travel videos. And this one, which is supposed to be my art channel, is actually more or less live streaming, time lapses, and an artist who was putting up his work in